how I set up my Craigslist search criteria, and I'm going to show you. Normally I do it on my phone, but basically I'm just going to show you like how I set it up, and then you can obviously set the same search criteria on your Craigslist, or I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it yourself so you can match it to how you want to check everything out. So anyway, let's check this out. I'm sharing my screen now with you. This is, I'm going to walk you through it. So this isn't my search right here, but I'm about to show you here. Now, the first thing whenever you go into Craigslist, whatever app you're using, it'll always give you the option of selecting all owner or dealer. Now, obviously, I'm into getting the best possible deal out there, which, as we talk about all the time in the Flipping Wheels group, is that the best possible deal isn't from a dealer, so you don't want to search dealer. You want to filter those out and obviously go to the owner only section. And then even then, honestly, sometimes you're going to get some dealers spread out here and there, or other people who are like flipping cars and they do it like from a back lot and they're kind of sketchy sometimes. So, but this is the best way to filter that out. And then sometimes a lot of people say to put the has image part here so that it only brings up the ads that have the image. I don't like to do that because personally I found deals where they don't have an image at all, and people, like, sometimes it'll be like elderly gentlemen that I've bought a car from in the past where they just like don't take a picture of anything. They just type up an ad, like a newspaper ad, and then they put up their car or whatever. And sometimes you can find great deals like that, so I don't like to filter that out. But what I do like to filter out is I'll always put a minimum of $500, just so that you don't get like tires or people putting up ads for, like, I don't know, detailing cars and stuff like that. All those irrelevant ads, like, they're under $500. So I set my minimum to at least $500. And then now for me personally, just because this is, I kind of have a bigger budget, but the reason that I limit it to 5,000. I like to stay in the niche where 5,000 max. I like to stay in that niche just because that's where a lot of used cars are being sold at. If you really look at the, like, if I could like build a graph for you, maybe one of these days I will. If I could build a graph to show you how many cars are being sold that are like new or dealership cars versus how many cars are being sold private party. Most of the private party sales happen with the cars that are a little bit older that can't be sold to a dealer, and the dealerships don't even sell those cars anymore. If it's like $15,000 or even $10,000, not a lot of people just have that much cash lying around to go and buy a car, private party. So what they'll do is they'll buy them from dealers. So dealers take advantage of that, and they're able to leverage banks and stuff like that so that they can actually offer financing to people. But the majority of people looking for a private party sale don't have that kind of money, so they kind of look for somewhere in this like $500 to $5,000 range. It's probably like, I'd say 80 to 85% of the market, people with looking for a private party sale are in that price range. So that's why I stay in that price range. That way I can stay with the majority of the people. Now, not to say that I haven't before. Like, if you follow me in the past, I've done a flip with a 2014 Chevy Camaro. And although I went into it and I planned my strategy of like my entry point and my exit point and planned the entire investment, I owned that car for about 2 months, and I knew from the beginning, and I planned that the audience size was going to be smaller. So I knew that it was going to take me about 2 months for that sale. But the important part was that I stuck to my original plan and plan of investment, and yeah, it ended up working out. I think I profited, I want to say $2,400 or $2,200 on that. So, and I got to enjoy it for 2 months. It was really fun. So anyway, back to the search criteria here. Now that can obviously depend on you. I remember when I first started out, I only had a budget of like $2,500. So obviously I kept my search criteria. Actually, here's a tip. If you only have $2,500, don't put your max $2,500, because now that's gonna like leave you out if somebody posted something for $3,000, but you can negotiate them down to $2,500. So if my personal budget was $2,500, I'd probably set my search criteria to like $3,500. Then, you know, that leaves me room to see the ads that I could possibly negotiate down to $2,500 as well. But we'll just keep it at $5,000 for now. Now here, make and model. I talk about this a lot on the channel about making sure when you're a beginner, you stay niche down. And I'll reiterate what I mean by that is in the very beginning when you're first starting out, it's really important to like really have a small scope in the beginning. When I first started out, for example, I only sold Honda Civics and Toyota Camrys. That was all I did, or Corollas. That's all I would do in the beginning. And then as I kind of like started to learn more and more about other vehicles and I got educated in the space, I could then kind of like widen my scope of what I was consider myself an expert in, and then I could move on. Then I went to Ford Rangers after that, and then so on and so on. And then just one by one, I'd get a little bit more knowledgeable about one specific type of car, and then I would add that to my list of what I would search for. So then whenever I would do it, first I would search for, Hondas, like Honda Civics right here, and then after a while, then I had like 2 saved searches that I would do, and you can save your search. See up here in the top, you can save your search criteria. So after a while, at first I just had the Honda Civic saved, and then the Toyota Corollas, and then Ford Rangers, and then that's how I started to go through. And now I have so many that now I just kind of look through the general Craigslist. But I wouldn't recommend people in the beginning looking through general Craigslist. So let's say you were just starting out. I would say Honda, let's just say Honda Accord for someone just starting out. And then, it's search for everything. And then for the model year, if you want to be super specific and you really want to start out with a really small scope, which is totally fine. I personally didn't. I was forced in a certain year range just because of my price point that I only had $2,500. So in the beginning, I was only really doing like, I think it was 99 to like 2005. I would have been really stoked if I got a 2005 back in the day. That was like, I say back in the day, it was only like 6 years ago, but that would be the only reason that I would search for that. If you want to like look for a specific body style, then I would do that for sure. With the odometer, I used to not like to get cars with over 200,000 miles, but that changed about a year ago whenever I made like $600 profit off of a car that had 225,000 miles. So now I'm always thinking, man, I could probably be missing out on something like that because I bought the car for $600. So you can definitely still find really good deals by doing that. So I don't like to mess with that. Now the ones that I do recommend doing down here, I wouldn't say mess with the condition, the cylinders, drive, fuel, unless you're really searching for a specific niche. But one that I would definitely recommend is right here where it says title status. I would make sure you check clean title. Now Craigslist is really good about this because Craigslist makes the seller select what kind of title it is. If you go on OfferUp or like Facebook Marketplace or LetGo, it doesn't force them to select like what the title is, clean, salvage, or whatever. So sometimes it's annoying because people won't put that in their ad. And you get really excited about a deal thinking that it's a fantastic deal and it's actually a salvage title. So here you don't even have to worry about that. You can filter clean and it's only going to filter through the clean title ones, obviously. So anyway, that's how I would update my search. And that is just a really quick tutorial. I've been getting a lot of people wanting to know like my search criteria for Craigslist. That's just mine. I want you to make sure you focus on building your own so that you can find your own niche and your own way and your own expertise. And if you like trucks and you're passionate about trucks, be an expert in trucks. If you really like Mini Coopers, be an expert in Mini Coopers at first. That's what I love about it is you can follow your passion and whatever you're passionate about, drive it for a while, have fun with it, even make it your daily driver and still be able to profit in the end. So anyway, I hope you guys liked that video and I will see you guys. If you have any other video recommendations, comment them down below and I'd be more than happy to make them for you. So thanks guys for watching and I'll see you next time.